What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 here for another video review. This time it's Daredevil from Netflix, and you can purchase this figure. I believe it's available now at bigbadtoystore.com. Just click the link in the description. It's like $4 shipping, so can't go wrong with that. The box, it's kind of monochromatic. It's just black and white Daredevil with some braille on it. You know, I get it. It's from the Daredevil movie, but you know, would it kill them to put this logo on it? You know, Daredevil the Punisher. I mean, he's gonna have his own TV series, but we don't know if actually Hot Toys is gonna, you know, make one. I hope they do. You know, I guess I really love the character. It's the top of the box. It says Daredevil. It's overall, this is the back of the box. It's a decent looking box. You know, it has some, you know, marks on the side, just black and white, but it truly represents Daredevil. It's a pretty cool, yeah, nothing too special about it, but you know, with the Daredevil, if you remember it, yeah, it's like red and black. This one's more for black and white, but it's just, that's just how Daredevil is. It's just plain character. And as you can see, you take this off and you can kind of see the skull right there on the outer packaging, kind of like the window and skull shape. Yeah, Daredevil, he comes with tons of accessories, so you're not gonna, you know, feel bad about this release. And the side says Punisher, and on the back, kind of like Daredevil as well, but you see the skull, his icon, you know, his symbol at the bottom. You see here. And as far as accessories, it's pretty cool. We got two-fisted hands, kind of like the action pose hands. Two, I would say that, so those are knife holding hands, and also for his minigun, and two trigger finger hands. He also comes with this sniper rifle, who has a foldable stock. It's pretty cool. It's bolt action with a nice scope. You know, really nice looking gun right here. I'm trying to guys, so you guys can see it. It's kind of dark. This guy comes with tons of accessories, and you know, I might sound really excited here, but you know, if you've seen my reviews, I'm a big fan of characters with guns. You know, I have guns myself, and you know, the level of details when it comes to these guns are just amazing. And also, I think the value goes up, at least in my opinion, when they come with, you know, these types of accessories. And you see his sniper rifle there with some rails, and you can take out the magazine as well. It's the bolt is also moving, you know, so you can reload. There you go. It's bolt action. Pretty nice. The scope is not articulated, but you know, that is expected. But it's a pretty cool looking gun. Like I said, you see the selector there as well. It's not obviously movable, but it's pretty awesome. The level of detail, like I said, I'm a big fan of the TV show Daredevil. You know, on the season 1, I loved it. On season 2, I think I can speak for everyone else, but Frank Castle stole that show. You know, it's almost, I don't want to see Daredevil anymore, because the interaction with Elektra is kind of cringe-worthy for me. I just couldn't wait for the next episode where they have Punisher. So like I said, I don't think I'm in the minority here, but after that show ended, a lot of people were screaming for his own series, and we're finally gonna get it on November. So I'm really excited about that. I also comes with the knife with it's not steel, it's just made out of plastic, but really nice paint job. It also comes with a sheath, and the sheath is magnetized as well, so that's pretty cool. You know, you don't need to do that button thingy. One thing confusing though is they didn't tell where to put the knife. You know, the conventional thinking is that it would go into his boot, but it's too long, you know, to go into his boots. And also there's a slot where you're gonna, you know, I guess thread whatever it is inside the sheath, but like I said, they didn't mention where it should go. I guess you can just wing it, you know, get some thread and just, you know, put it on his boots or in his legs somewhere, you know. But yeah, so far nothing. They didn't say anything, but I'm still glad that they included this. He comes with a revolver as well. Really nice detail. You can see the grip. It's textured. There's some rail on the top. The hammer, it's not articulated, but the chamber is. You can take that out, and you don't have a speed loader or anything, but yeah, it's pretty nice looking piece. I wish he came with some submachine guns or something like that, or a shotgun. Go all out, man. You got Punisher here. He's 135, so I would say he's it's this pretty decent price. In the higher end, hopefully Hot Toys lower their prices, man. It should be like 220 or something. It doesn't come with a second head sculpt, although he comes with a nice assortment of accessories, but his outfit as well as it's not too complicated. You've seen several bootleg versions of this Punisher now, and they don't look bad. They don't look bad at all. So the only thing is that it's still expensive. It's I think $160, and of course the minigun. I love this minigun. I haven't tried that on my Arnie. I always wanted to have one for my Terminator, but I guess this would do, if you're just swapping weapons and whatnot. But there's a lot of details in this minigun as well. It's plastic. It's kind of light, but yeah, I guess it's better that way, so he can kind of hold it, freely or easily. Yeah, the paint application, it's just honestly the entire theme, or anyone who knows Punisher, the color scheme is kind of boring. It's just black and white, but that's how I wanted it. Punisher is one of the characters that I really like the most, and it just grew stronger after the show. And it comes with this nice bullets. It's made out of rubber, so it's kind of bendy, and to insert it, there's just 2 holes on one end, and from the minigun. If you read the instructions, you don't need to refer to my video here. But yeah, there's some nice details on this bullets as well. The backside is not too much, but the front side you can kind of see here. I haven't really held the minigun myself, so can't really say if it's accurate or not, but maybe one day. Yeah, like I mentioned, there's like finer details in this minigun, which is pretty cool. I always wanted to buy one for my Terminator DX13, because I made a custom made, so this might work. Pretty nice details here. Some scuff, some weathering. You see that? That's pretty cool. It's not just solid black. So you really get your money's worth as far as accessories, because it's really rare that Hot Toys, unless you get some military guy, just kind of like a Punisher here, you get this many accessories. All he needs is like a second bloody head sculpt, in my opinion, which his head sculpt is really great, but that would have been nice. And also, this is a controversial one. A lot of people were speculating that you can insert this into the Daredevil figure. I think somebody already tried that like 2 months ago, and we all know it doesn't fit, which is a shame. But it doesn't. It's just for props. It's kind of like the Captain America empty a helmet from Iron Man, and the Captain America. It's just meant for him to hold it. You can see there's a crack on the front, so just a prop. Nothing too special. And also his coat is pretty cool. It's light. It's really light. I thought it was going to be somewhere in the avenue of the Crow, because I do have the Crow as well, but it does not. And also it comes with a stand that says Daredevil. Those lazy asses, it's the same stand as Daredevil. Would it really hurt? I mean, just at least put the Punisher in there. I know it's a Daredevil show, but come on now. And also what they could have done is that puddle of water, which is a really cool effect. I mentioned that on my Daredevil review. That could have been like a Punisher logo if they were a little bit more creative and not trying to or match the color of the background. Maybe like make it a bit more yellowish, just to match the tone of the backdrop. But yep, of course, Hot Toys, that would require a little bit more extra work. So but yeah, that could have been at least more creative on the puddle, in my opinion, or at least just change the nameplate. Don't make it say Daredevil. It's obviously Punisher. I know it's the show, but yeah. Come on, it's like Captain America Civil War and not saying Falcon on it. I don't know, did it say Falcon? I can't remember. I didn't have that figure. But as far as the figure itself, I can't say anything about it. It's. I mean, I'm looking at this in a rose-colored glasses because I'm a bit partial with the show. I love the show, but yeah, it's an excellent figure. You know, it's a bit boring because it's just, you know, it's not colorful. It doesn't have a lot of bells and whistles. It doesn't light up. It doesn't talk or anything like that. But for what it represents, it's amazing. This is the classic case of. I guess the character is uplifting the actual figure, although, you know, it doesn't really need that because, like I said, the figure is excellent by itself. You can see this skull, it's just beautiful. And his vest, I guess you can remove it. I don't recommend it because it's like removing Bane's vest. You know, it's just a pain in the ass to do so. But I mean, if you want to, I guess you could. But I'm happy with how it turned out. Jon Bernthal, I guess that's how you pronounce his name. The actor that played in the show is a really good actor. I guess he's one of the best actors right now. And his body is not too big. He's in great shape, but he's not a hulking guy as well. I don't even think he's that tall either. But he's in shape. He got nice arms. But I think this is perfect. How he's shaped. And what he reminded me of initially was Bane, the figure Bane, because they kind of have the same joints. He's wearing cargo pants, as you can see, and also with his boots, it is the same as Daredevil, which I do love. It's two separate pieces, and I've seen some complaints on 1/6 Republic. It was like, why is this? They'd rather have a solid piece. I'd rather have the movement, to be quite honest with you, because if you maneuver this, if you position this strategically, you can hide the joints. I'd rather have the option than not have one. So it's just, I hope Hot Toys continues to do this design and not give in to the solid boost, because we've been that road, with Roadblock and Joe Colton. I'd rather have this any day of the week. Also his cargo pants, nice fitting, it's not too baggy. There's a lot of details, like I mentioned, on the vest. It looks really sturdy. It looks really one of those vests that military guys wear, like those plate carriers. You can see the stitching on the back, and also once you hold it, there's a bit of a padding, just as a kind of resemblance of a real vest. And also there's a Velcro underneath, so I guess you could really take it off. Realistically, I used to have one of these guys, but not anymore. So, but I guess you gotta unbuckle those things. And one thing that I mentioned earlier about the knife is that there's really no place to put the knife in. It doesn't really have any space. So I figured if you are going to, you gotta put them somewhere here, because that's I don't know, that's the most, I guess, logical position that you can put them in. But you gotta unbuckle those ropes, or and then you gotta slide them inside. I don't know if that's even supposed to be there right here, and even if you do so, it's too narrow, so you can't just slide it in. So I mean, whatever, you can do whatever you want to do with the knife, I guess. It's just kind of frustrating that they didn't tell us what to do with it. But the boots, pretty sure the bottom has a nice details as well. And I guess the meat of this figure, outside of the accessories, is the head sculpt. I really love this head sculpt. But then again, before this release came up, I don't even know if Hot Toys has any intention of releasing this guy. But there's a lot of bootleg version, and they released it quite early as well. So I take that back. I know they're releasing it, but releasing it early because they're the bootleg version is kind of taking some of the pie that they're supposed to get. Because if you did buy the bootleg version, you might not go for this one, because I've seen the comparison videos and pictures. It's not too shabby. However, it's still, I guess, priced at $160, and this is priced at $235. So if you play your cards right, you can actually, $40, $70 difference is nothing in this hobby. So you might as well go for the licensed version. And we all know, I like to hate on Hot Toys sometimes. I won't even want to call hate. I'm not hating the company if I keep on buying their products, but I'm critical of their quality control issues. So far, I haven't experienced any with this guy, but you gotta admit, look at that nose, man. That is Jon Bernthal nose all the way. 5 o'clock shadow. He even has this fade. It's just an excellent head sculpt. Going back to Hot Toys, they're the best in the business right now. No one can touch their paint application. So if you were gonna buy this Punisher, which I highly suggest you do, just buy it from Hot Toys. Just skip the bootleg version, man. You're not gonna regret it. Those eyes, those are deep eyes right there. It's just a nice looking figure, and those, you can see the bloody face, his wound. Nice looking figure. And then we'll try to get a little bit closer. Yeah, paint application, right? Look at those eyes. Because Jon Bernthal has like a weird eyes. You know, he kind of like one is looking slightly on the other side. They even captured that. And his wound looks like it's still fresh. His hair, you know, the one thing that I noticed that his hair on the Hot Toys version is a bit puffier than the bootleg version, but you know, overall, I would still go with this one. Maybe I'm a bit partial here because, yeah, I'm not trying to discourage anyone who buys bootleg. You know, I have a few of my own. Hey, maybe I just love the character too much that I want to get the legit version. Look at that, those pores in his face as well. The fade from his sideburns going to his beard, his 5 o'clock shadow, the fade. It's just terrific, man. Look at those close-up action. His eyes, his nose. You know, I think they did a really great job. And as always, you know, they keep on improving. I guess all the releases from last year are somewhat on the 8. From, if I'm gonna scale it from 1 to 10, I would say the lowest they got was an 8, and I can't even remember what figure was that. I'm just, you know, sometimes I'm not too happy with some of their sculpt, but yeah, they just keep on getting better and better, and it's good for us collectors. But their prices keeps on going up as well. So, you know, that beard, their paint application, you know, and the skin tone from the face to the neck, it's seamless. Unlike if you try to build it your own. That's why I'm not a big fan of, you know, switching bodies from Hot Toys to Phison, because that color transition is just, I don't know, I just can't live with that. And I'll put them in a few poses before we wrap this thing up. So you can pose them with, as you can see here, just without a jacket, which is an option. But the problem is you're gonna see those joints. So if you're okay with it, which I honestly am, you know, it really doesn't bother me. It's not one of those double jointed elbows, so it's not too nasty looking. Because what's his name? Roadblock has those, and it's exposed, and yeah, it's not too pleasant to the eyes. But with him, yeah, it's okay. I can live with it. So I don't mind posing him without the jacket on. And here he is, kind of like going to stab someone in the neck. Maybe it's Daredevil, you know. So I've seen anyone who's seen the trailer from the next season, he has his face covered in blood. So I hope if they do make one, make that as an alternate head sculpt. I really can't wait for that. His character, just talk about the character of Punisher here. It's just, you know, he's human. He doesn't have any superpowers. He's just really nasty, badass guy, you know, with a lot of guns, and doesn't mind killing people. So even the 2004 movie I did enjoy, and I do get it. It's not the most, you know, I guess best portrayal, but I didn't mind it either, you know. So I guess I'm easy to please, especially when I like the character. Here is with a minigun. You know, you can position him nicely as well, and also with his jacket, it does have a wire at the bottom. I guess one of the problems with the Crow jacket is that it has wires all over it, so it looks stiff. With his jacket, it's really a soft material. Would it flake over time? You know, we're talking about Hot Toys here, so that is most likely. Although my Bane hasn't, and none of my leather has actually flaked yet, but it doesn't mean yours is not going to. I guess there's a lot of factors, weather, humidity, you know, how often you touch them maybe. But with this guy, even if it does flake, I don't think you're gonna have some trouble. It's just a coat. you know. So you can use, I guess, any generic coats if it does. But this one looks like a nice material. It's soft, it flows nicely, and then if you want to give him some dynamic poses, you could as well, like what I have now. It looks like his coat is being blown by the wind, so it's going one way. I didn't even try that hard. It's just when I put him in, kind of like messes it up a little bit, and to me it looks good. So one of the poses that you could do is the sniper rifle towards the end of the season when he helped out Daredevil. He's looking up this way, but I know the show is looking down because he's shooting from an elevated platform. Yeah, even though he's not a double jointed elbows, and you can see that joints in his wrist, you can strategically hide that if really need be. If I was taking the picture, I would have. But this is video, so I can't hide from angles, because I might be able to hide it from one angle but not on the other when it starts spinning, so I didn't even bother. So, but yeah, it is possible. It's easy actually to put him in a sniping pose. The double jointed doesn't hinder him, at least with this pose at all. Would have been nice to have one, but you would suffer from if he doesn't have his coat on. So I always thought it was like, especially for somebody like Thor or him or Bane or Wolverine, they should be able to invent something that you can swap arms or something. You can swap head sculpt, with Iron Man Mark 47 Mark 7 I believe is you can swap their arms. They should be able to do something like that, and charge us more if you want to. Charge for Thor, maybe make it like, I don't know, 280 perhaps, if they include that kind of feature. But I highly doubt we're gonna see that, because hey, they won't even give us the second head sculpt. They want us to buy a whole new figure for, let's say, Suicide Squad. And just size comparison wise, they're actually aligned, but Daredevil just looks smaller in this. I don't know, it's because of the jacket, but also it doesn't help that Punisher's head is a bit big. I don't know if it's big or just Daredevil's head is small, but from this angle it looks like Punisher is closer to the camera, but in reality he's not. They're perfectly aligned. It just shows you that how Daredevil's a tiny guy. But so is, I believe, so is Jon Bernthal in reality. I don't even think he's 6 feet tall. But yeah, they look nice next to each other. I didn't even it's just a regular pose. If I had them fighting, that would be even better. I'm sure. But they're just presence. Their presence in your shelf is great. If you have them, I think they would look terrific together. Or if you're just a fan of Daredevil, I would highly suggest picking them both up. Another comparison that I'll give you here is Bane. When I got him, because I've seen, again, complaints that the joints are showing, and similar to Bane, I think Bane's is worse because he doesn't have a t-shirt on. And I remember back then in the Dark Knight that no one wants to pick up Bane because they was like, oh, his arms, he's too small, and that's still I guess a critique to him. But once you put the coat on, you won't even see his but now there was a time where he was one of the most wanted figures, and he was going for like 300 something, and then he originally came out for 175 I think. So don't sweat it for this figure, the Punisher, because I am so happy with my Bane. So that's all I can say about that. You can go the route of Fison if it really bothers you, but you don't need to. And there you go, guys. We're just wrapping this thing up. It's an excellent figure. If you're a big fan, or even if you're just a fan of the TV show Daredevil, I guess we can all agree that he played one hell of a character, the Punisher, on that TV series. He's gonna have one of his own. I'm a big fan, so I highly recommend this figure. Just by the accessories alone, you're gonna have fun with him. And just the presence of the actual character, if you think what he could do, I guess it just adds to the mystique of the figure. He also comes with this nice backdrop as well. So those two figures, highly recommended. They're not bad as price wise as well. $235, and you get 3 guns, a nice backdrop, I wouldn't even call that a dynamic base or a diorama base, because it doesn't. But yeah, some posable options. You got two looks, and with the jacket on, the jacket off, and overall just a fun figure to have. You can mix him up with Daredevil, or if you don't have a Daredevil, he's a standalone guy too. So if you have some random 1/6 that you want him to fight some bad guys, you can do as well. So thank you for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Please like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so. Share my videos, give me a thumbs up. It really just motivates me overall. Follow me on Facebook as well, and also on Instagram. And I'll see you in the next review, and thank you for watching. Until next time.